Aha, there we go. All right, we're back in business. I've just figured it out. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. I need to cut that out in the first little bit. I think now we should be able to hear. Let's see. All right. Hello. And yeah, all right. All right. The good news is my camera is working. The microphone's working. I'm half asleep. So this is definitely a good start. Let's just get into it. I haven't really got much to offer other than the fact that I really need to look at all the managers' press conferences, and hopefully I'll be able to sort it out pretty quickly. All I'll admit is that I'm literally half asleep at the moment. I've literally had like 3 hours sleep. This whole week I've had no sleep because I've been watching so much football. And this deadline being on a Tuesday night is absolutely killing me. I'm melting in this house because it's 38 degrees. I need to turn the air conditioning on, or else I'm definitely not making the stream because I'm already sweating and I'm about 2 minutes in. And yeah, with that being said, let's jump over. Hopefully the webcam is still working because I really don't know if it's going to, but with some luck, hopefully it is. All right, so the team, as it looks currently speaking, doesn't look too bad in theory. But I've had a lot of people sit there and ask me why the hell I'm benching Isaac this week. So I suppose that's probably going to be the hottest topic of today when we have a look at my team. It is a little interesting. Like, I don't know what people think about Isaac and benching, but I just think that realistically, I can't see Liverpool losing to Newcastle. I can't see Newcastle beating them, particularly at Anfield, which makes me think that playing Isaac is actually not the correct play. I feel like there's more chance of Chris Wood scoring against Arsenal. I feel like there's more chance of Kluivert scoring against Brighton than there is of Isaac scoring against Liverpool. That's my line of thinking. I need some help. So make sure if you are in the comments, just whack in what you would do and justify your reasoning as to why you would bench him. Also, I think the other biggest thing to talk about today is the captaincy debacle. Now, lots of people have been asking me. I did a TikTok stream earlier today, and everyone was banging on about Cole Palmer. And like the most common question I got was Captain Palmer or Captain Salah. And the amount of times I had to answer the question, I ended up like tripping myself up. And it was probably because I'm half asleep. And I kept on going, Captain Palmer. It's not Captain Palmer. I definitely think that Captain Salah is the correct play at the moment. But I am intrigued to hear what everyone else thinks that is watching. Who are you captaining? Why are you doing it? What's your reasoning behind going Palmer? Because in reality, Chelsea have been absolutely rubbish. And I'm just writing something in the chat really quickly, and I really can't multitask because I'm still waking up. My alarm went off literally 15 minutes ago. I thought I'd set everything up. I hadn't set everything up. I'm now looking at the screen going, have I missed something? No, it says game week 27. It's got my current rank, so that's pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I can't really complain. Please like the stream as well. And if you are new and you're watching, please smash the sub button. And I'm going to quickly finish off this message. Then we're going to have a look at the we're going to have a look at the press manager conferences, see what news can be gained before the deadline. I still haven't made a transfer, and I watched Jared Bowen going up in price overnight, and I really wanted to bring him in. But the only way I could bring him in was either selling Bruno to him, which made no sense to me, selling him Buemo to him, which also made no sense to me, or taking a -4 to bring in Jared Bowen, and that also made no sense to me. Sub if new, much appreciated. I think that's all I wanted to say. There we go. All right, hello. News on Rodgers' injury. We're going to have a look at that in a second. Could add volume on your end. It's so low. Okay, thank you very much. I will add the volume. Let me know if this makes it any better. That should make it better. Let me know if that's better. I can't tell because obviously I'm not in my normal computer, so it's very hard for me to adjust the volume. But I am relying, as long as you can hear, I think that might have fixed it. Sorry, I'm just checking the settings. That should be a bit better. If it's not, try that now. I think that should be a little bit better. Hopefully it doesn't distort the volume. I actually can't hear because I've got the feedback completely down, but that's what I'm looking at the moment. Let me know if the volume's gone up. Thoughts on Rodgers to Nkunku? I actually really like that transfer. Rodgers, I can't see really doing very well. I feel like Nkunku's going to be pretty good for Chelsea. Can someone just tell me if they noticed any change in the volume? Just give us a quick yes or no, and let me know if the volume has gone up or not. But yeah, I am trying to fix it. I'm still not sure why it's not working, but hopefully it is fixing itself out. I have changed it. I'm hoping that, according to this, it should be picking it up quite well. But I am on my laptop rather than my normal computer, so it is a little bit difficult to gauge. Also, I need to adjust the chat so I can actually see the chat live. So I do appreciate there are slight technical difficulties, but it is stupid o'clock here in Australia. And really, I should be sleeping because I've got work tomorrow. And here I am doing a deadline stream for you. All right, it could go higher again. Okay, we'll try a little bit better. It's better. We could go better again. Just let me know if it starts distorting because that's problematic as well. But I also can't tell because, yeah. But hopefully that has fixed the problem. I've turned it up a little bit more. Hopefully that's a sign that now you can hear with some luck. But that's the team currently as it stands now. A lot of people, as I said, oh yeah, that sounds a bit better. I can hear it a bit better. All right, it doesn't sound distorted. That's good news. All right, away we go. So let's have a look at the press conference updates. I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger. Keep getting your comments in. Obviously, selling Rodgers in general, I think is a great move this week. Yeah, selling Rodgers is he has to be moved, right? Unless you're playing a free hit in 29, it makes no sense to keep Morgan Rodgers. So for me, I don't mind selling him at all. I think he's a great move. Also, my mouth is so dry. Volume's all good. Fantastic. All right, we've nailed that bit. That's a good start. By the way, if you haven't joined the league already, the code is definitely on the screen, hopefully, with some luck. And then, yeah, all right, let's press conference update. So let's have a look. So hopefully it's in here. We're going to hopefully refresh this and it will be the live blog. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start looking for it. All right, no, it still says match day 26. All right, now let's go here. Let's go to the home. Let's have a look at the press conferences. Where's the live blog? Okay. So this is the problem when I wake up and I've literally got no time and I'm half asleep. Like normally I would have this ready to go. Why I can't find the live blog? How do they not have one for game week 27 up here? That's really annoying. There doesn't seem to be a live blog. What? Okay. Let me just see if I can find the press conference updates. Press conference updates. Game week 27. Oh. All right, let's have a look. Press conference updates. Let's just try one of these ones and hope for the best. All right, let's have a look. Hey, mate, one tranche free transfer. Thoughts of Trossard to Bowen or roll? I'm dead ending to game week 29. If you're dead ending to game week 29, I love Bowen this week. Bowen is an amazing asset. I wish that I could have him in my team, but I just don't at the moment. Bench 2, Trent Robinson, Kirkez, João Pedro, Dango. I think I'm benching Dango. And you've got to bench a defender there as well. I'd probably bench Kirkez. That sounds bad, benching both your Bournemouth assets, though. I don't know if I like that. But at my gut feel, I feel like you've got to play Trent, right? 7.4 million. You got to play him. I'm just not sure. All right. Game week 2 and Fridays. What? This is old. Oh, no, it's not. 9 o'clock slot. I was like, this must be last year's game week 27. It's not. All right, Man City. Erling Haaland's involvement in the midweek clash with Tottenham remains in doubt. I'm just going to blow this up so in case anyone actually does want to follow along and read. And maybe it's slightly bigger. Striker's been plagued by knee discomfort. Pep got ill with assess him in training. Tonight we know about training. I hope he feels better. The last games could play. We'll see you tomorrow. That's basically Pep saying Haaland's not playing. Captain Salah or Palmer. For me at the moment, Daniel, why the hell are you awake? I wish I was in bed. But hello. Well done for staying up. I'm captaining Salah at this point in time until I get convinced otherwise. I just think that you've got to back in the man in form. Chelsea aren't in form, and Cole Palmer is definitely not in form. Andrew, how are you? Good afternoon, D Unit. Yeah, it's good morning for me. I am keeping well. Thanks to the stream, no problem at all. My pleasure. Kevin De Bruyne's future. I can tell you that Kevin De Bruyne will not be at Man City next year. Pep Guardiola talks a pile of rubbish. He won't be there next year. He'd be playing more games if he was. Rico Lewis. Okay, apparently he could be an option. All right, Liverpool, what is he saying here? I think McCall will still be okay. He will play. He will train with us today. Connor doesn't. All right, so Connor Bradley's out for a few weeks. That's huge for Trent starting against Southampton in game week 28. Just FYI, I think that's a sign that you just hold Trent till game week 29, then you piss him the hell off out of your teams. Start Hoytson or Robinson. Also have Gabriel and Trent. I'd actually bench Gabriel out of those four. I don't think Arsenal are going to win, and I don't think they're going to score against Nottingham Forest. I don't know why. Their attack is no good. Without Saka, without Havertz, without Martinelli, Arsenal are going to struggle to score goals. And I just can't. And Gabriel's threat is from set pieces. Saka's not there delivering the ball. It's a vast drop in quality. Let's have a look. I'm not so sure. Difficult because these players are trained for this and are used to this. Blah, blah. He's just waffling on about fixture congestion pretty much. But the good news is Liverpool have a rest. They're not in the FA Cup anymore. Got 7.8 million for a Rodgers replacement. Who's the best option? Jarrett Bowen, 100%. Jarrett Bowen is the number one buy outside of Bruno Fernandes this week. You don't have 8.3, so Bruno's not an option, so it's Bowen. Bank the extra 0.4. Even when Yeris is expected okay to feature, he was just cramping. Obviously, his foot load has been very different in recent weeks, but he's fine. Wanyeri is just not a good option. I don't know why anyone bothered buying him in. Backroy and Gabby, they are progressing really well, but still far to come back. All right, so that's basically saying they're not there. Finn Jones, hello, hi. Should I start Foden or Gapco? I would start Phil Foden. However, I'd probably sell Gakpo for Cunha and start Cunha. No, my pleasure, Frederick. No problems at all. If you guys are new and you've just found me for the first time, please feel free to subscribe as well. Let's have a look. Yes, in relation to the opposition options we have, and then what the team generates, blah. All right, Newcastle United, Sven Botman and Jollington are both closing in on returns ahead of the trip to Liverpool. Sven's improving and improving quickly, so we'll see whether he makes the game or not. It'll be close. Again, with Joe, it is similar to Sven, really improving, doing really well, pushing. Again, he's another player who'll be quite close. They're not playing him against Liverpool. Why would you risk playing him 2 weeks out from the Carabao Cup final? They're not getting the game. Tonali, he came through fine. I'm anticipating he'll be fully fit. Apparently, he had a little hamstring issue. The Scarles, naturally, we've got good players. You're always thinking of ways to get your best players consistent in the team, not to the detriment of the team. We felt it would work against Arsenal in the EFL Cup. Okay, not sure what that means. Tottenham, good news. Everyone who played got through really well. It's great that we could give guys like Madison and Porro a bit of a rest and still be able to come on and contribute and get time into Brennan Johnson and Udogi. They all came through really well. Spurs are definitely improving. They're getting players back. That definitely helps them. So it'll probably be a similar squad for tomorrow. I actually think Spurs are a pretty sneaky chance against City tomorrow. Not going to lie. They're not a bad shout. The other lads are tracking really well. They're all sort of similar times, hopefully in the next 7 to 10 days. A couple of them are already training, but over that period, we'll start incorporating them back into the matchday squads. So that's on Mickey van der Ven, Dominic Solanke, Christian Romero, and Rickardsson. Probably doesn't make Tell an option anymore. Dragerson isn't included in the above group. He is out for the season, obviously, if you haven't heard that. All right, Nottingham Forest. We have players to assess, a couple of knocks to assess and see how they get ready for the game. Let's wait and see. That is so vague. That's so unhelpful. Man United. Ruben Amarin says he's not expecting anyone to return for the midweek visit of Ipswich. No, I think it's the same. They're improving, but nobody's recovering for this game. That's good signs. Hopefully he plays Bruno Fernandes in that 10 position again. I would really like that. That would be great. Amad Diallo and Martinez are out long term. Maino, few weeks. Johnny Evans back. Johnny Evans' back has been out since my back started hurting, and that was a very long time ago. Mason Mount and Luke Shaw are the biggest running jokes of footballers. They are always injured. Collier's unknown. That's unhelpful. All right, West Ham United. This is big. So Lucas Paqueta's definitely out for the Leicester City game. Kufau is out as well. But that's good news because that means that Mohamed Kudus probably looks like a pretty good option. Jared Bowen looks an amazing option. It will just be interesting to see if that means Evan Ferguson comes on or into the team now that Paqueta's not available. No one else is back. Nathan Patterson has been back training. He's only back today, but I think it's going to be too quick for him. So Dominic Calvert-Lewin is still out. McNeil still out. And Dye still out. Brodger still out. Coleman, Mangala, Chimiti. That's great news for Beto owners. Beto looks an amazing option still. I really like that. Lindstrom and whatever his name is over illnesses as well, by the way. Ruud van Nistelrooy says he has no fresh concerns to the trip to West Ham. O'Colly's fine. James Justin could even make a swift return. No one owns him anymore. Still can't believe I owned James Justin earlier this year. That's all the press conference updates for today. I don't think there's anyone else. I've covered Slot. I've covered Arteta. Covered Howe. Covered Guardiola. Covered Poch. Covered Van Nistelrooy. Covered Amarin. Covered Nuno. Covered Potter. And I've covered Moyes. All right, brilliant. That's the press conference is done. Let's get back to here. Now, the other thing I really want to check before we go there is the live update, like prices going up. So Cunha looks like he's going to rise in price again tonight. So that means he's going to go up to about 7 mil. That leaves me in a weird position because realistically, I want to get Cunha in and I feel like, let's just go here and have a look at his fixtures. So I'm not buying him for this game week. I'm happy with Wissa, but when it comes to Cunha moving forward, he is definitely a player I want in the team. Let's go to the forwards. Cunha. So he's 16% owned now. So he's gone from like 5% up to 16. So many people already jumping this week. He's got Fulham at home. Now, if this was some other team at home, I'd probably be buying him this week and not playing Wissa against Everton. But, and this is the big but, Fulham are an elite level defense away from home. They're actually the third best Premier League club away from home for defensive data. They also pick up most of their points on the road. Like Fulham's run of results this season away from home is insane, which makes you think that this week Wissa is a better option than Cunha, which is why I'm not buying Cunha for this week. And then obviously you've got the FA Cup to worry about. It could be one of them ones where I'm like blindly buying Cunha, knowing there's an FA Cup this weekend and hoping he doesn't get injured because I don't want to be paying 7 million for Cunha. Realistically, 6.9 is where I want to be at. But I'm probably going to have to do that when I'm at the gym in the morning watching the football and take a bit of a gamble. Because obviously his game's at 3:30. So he's playing tonight. I'll be able to watch Cunha versus Fulham tonight. If he scores or if he doesn't get injured tonight, I could then just bring him straight in for Wissa. The other thing is that Wissa could go ham tonight. I don't know what time. I don't know what games are actually on tonight. We'll have a look in a second. Actually, we'll do that now. So Brentford don't play tonight. So I won't get a look at what's his name? At Wissa until tomorrow night, which is very unhelpful. Like it's exceptionally unhelpful. Because realistically, I could be transferring out someone that absolutely goes ham tonight for someone that may go also ham tomorrow night. It's a difficult spot to be in, but it's one of them calls where I'm probably just going to have to roll up and do it. It is one of the 3 transfers I want to do before game week 29 as well. So the other one obviously is changing my goalkeeper, and it's something that I haven't discussed too much yet in any of my videos, but I have to trade at least one goalkeeper, one defender, and then I've got one luxury transfer before 29. And my luxury transfers are almost 100% going to be Wissa to Cunha. I've got the funds to do it, but I don't think it's a good move for this week, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I could be just speaking a pile of rubbish. Obviously, Chelsea play Southampton tonight as well at 4:15. Palace against Villa. I don't actually have a lot of assets. Well, I do have a few assets playing today. At the moment, I've got Clive and Kirkes against Brighton. I've got Robinson against Wolves. And I've got Cole Palmer against Southampton. That's all tonight. Tomorrow, it's literally all my team plays. Like the rest of my team plays tomorrow night. Yeah. Hello, Jack. How are you? Do I bench Clive or Dango? I bench Dango. He's not on penalties. Evanlinson's also back. And I think that Dango's the one most at threat from his return to the lineup. That is my guess. Also, FYI, let's try and put together a wildcard draft for like game week 30, 31. Because lots of people are definitely interested in this. Now, the problem I've got is that Chris Wood, who has been inevitable this season, right? From game week 29 onwards, Chris Wood's fixture list through to the end of the season is unbelievably goatish. Like, he could easily end up on 30 goals this season with the rate he's scoring. And you can't argue that this man has been so good for the value that you're paying him. Lots of people have talked about bringing in Erling Haaland in 29. Like, Haaland has been good. But when you have a look at his actual stats before he got injured, obviously, he's only had 2 double-figure hauls since the first 4 weeks of the season. He's only had 5 double-figure hauls all season long. His bonus points is just not the same as Chris Wood. Like, you're better off not paying up for Haaland. Yes, he could end up finishing the season with a bang if he gets over this knee injury. But in reality, I think Marmoush is probably a better pick. And Man City, they're not, as long as they're on track for top 4, they're probably not going to be playing the best football. Like, realistically speaking, Man City, Erling Haaland, probably not playing the best football. And I just think that Forest's run to the end of the season is better than City's. Like, it's the honest answer. Good morning, D-Unit. Villa will be leggy versus Palace. Potential win. Yeah, 100%. If you're an assistant manager this week, you only have to pick one manager. It's Oliver Glasner. Table bonus. If you had him last week, you just leave the chip on him and you roll with it. Absolutely roll with it. I mean, I'm just annoyed that I can't justify bringing in any Palace players into my team. It makes 0 sense for me to bring a Palace player in if I want to make sure I've got 11 players in 29 and I don't want to take any hits. So Fabianski, for me, is a definite see you later. Now, what you could say, and there's a couple of ways of looking at this, right? So I'm looking at game week 29. I need a goalkeeper for game week 29. The 2 options available without moving Becker on and keeping Becker, because Becker's fixture run post 29 is Everton at home, Fulham away, West Ham at home, Leicester away. Potentially there's 3 clean sheets in those 4 games, which is why I like the idea of holding on to Alisson. What's your opinion on captaining Bowen or Mateta, or should I stick with Salah? I'm sticking with Salah, but if you wanted a captaincy shout out of those players, it's Bowen. Bowen has the biggest upside for just a random... If you're bringing in Bowen this week, I'd be tempted to captain him. I'm not bringing him in because I can't make up my mind who I get rid of to bring him in. And I don't... Like, when I look at his fixture, yes, it's good. But is it really worth a transfer on a player that is actually going to be playing in game week 29? Probably not. But game week 29 luxury transfers probably better spent on Wissa to Cunha for that game week 29 fixture. So, as I said, Becker's fixtures are really good post 29. I like him on wildcard, but when I need a goalkeeper for this, so if we go to goalkeepers, the two standouts for me for that game week, considering I don't want to spend any more, like I've got Fabianski's selling price is 4 million. So it comes down to either moving to his West Ham teammate, which is Areola, and he is 4.2, so it's only going to cost me 0.2 to do this, which means I can still do Wissam Acuna, no problems at all. And in game week 29, just pull that up, they have Everton away. Now, Everton away does not scream a clean sheet to me. Like, Areola does not scream clean sheet to me in 29, which makes you think that he is the weaker option of these two. The better option, I believe, let me see if I can find him now, is Jose Sarr. Now, people are going to probably sit there and go, are you for real? What are you smoking? But Wolves' fixture run is so good. If they can keep half an idea, if their defensive data can just improve a little bit, and it does look like they are improving under Pereira, Jose Sarr is a great option in goal for game week 29. Southampton away is a fixture I absolutely love. This is a week where I could just do the transfer now, get it over and done with, because I know I'm going to have to do it. Some part of me just wants to see what happens with the team, how it rolls this week. Will I get any injuries? Because in reality, the lowest upside position to have an FPL is your goalkeeper. And I've wasted so many transfers on my goalkeepers this season already. Do I want to waste any more? I'm not 100% certain that I do. But it's definitely something that I've thought about. And I think that Jose Sarr is a great move. Like, legit, I think he is a great move. Like, for a goalkeeper transfer, especially if you've got Fabianski sitting in your bench, like I do, and Becker or another goalkeeper that's blanking, I think it's a great move. Now, in terms of the defense, I'm still weighing up now. Like, Trent's renaissance and the fact that Connor Bradley is injured, but like Hall, and I've got more value tied up in Hall, so I'm more likely to still keep Hall. And I still want to spend up more money in my midfield, which means I have to sell Trent. If I'm selling Trent, it's definitely to one of two defenders. Again, they're from the same two teams I just talked about. So it's either Ait-Nouri, who looks incredible. Hello, Kieran Walker. Start two of Mateta, Kluivert, and Dango. You're starting Kluivert and Mateta. You bench Dango. Play the blokes that are on penalties. Also, Dango's minutes could be affected if Adlinson was back on the bench on the weekend. There's every chance that he starts getting some minutes from this game week onwards, which I think in turn directly impacts Dango the most. FPL MFZ. Start two of Castagna, Kirkes, and Munoz. Oh, mate, that is a tough question, that one. I feel like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I'd probably bench Munoz. I feel like there's less chance of a Palace clean sheet because they're playing Villa. Like, I would argue that Villa are the best team out of Brighton, Wolves, and Villa, which makes you think that Villa have the most chance of scoring. That's the reasoning behind that decision. It doesn't sound right, considering Munoz just got 13 points, got 11 points 3 weeks ago. But realistically, I think Villa will score. And unless Munoz gets another attacking return, I don't know. I think the likelihood of a Fulham clean sheet's actually quite high. Actually, I'll pull this up just to show what I'm talking about, because I think I'm actually correct on this one. So I'll make the screen a little bit bigger so you can actually see what I'm looking at. All right. That should be good. So Robinson away from home. So I just want you to look at the away fixtures. So the home fixtures, Fulham aren't that good at home. You can see 2-0 loss to Palace. They conceded 2-1 against Nottingham. They only conceded once against Newcastle. They lost at home to Man United. They beat Leicester away 2-0. They obviously lost to West Ham away. Ipswich at home to all. Bournemouth at home 2-2. Chelsea away, they won 2-1. Liverpool away, they drew 2-2. I mean, they've been conceding quite a few goals. Robinson's just been elite. Castagna hasn't been as elite as Robinson. Now that I look at the away results, yes, they do keep some clean sheets in there. Like Nottingham Forest 1-0 away. Crystal Palace 2-0 away. I think actually actually now that I've looked at it, I'd bench Castagna. I'd bench Castagna out of those three. I think Castagna's less likely to get an attacking return. If this was Robinson, Kirkez, and Munoz, it would 100% be Munoz on the bench. But it's Castagna, so for that reason, Castagna on the bench. Yep. I'm glad I looked at that a bit closer. But yeah, Fulham's away run's been amazing, so which is why I don't think Pereira is a very good shout as assistant manager this week. I feel like Fulham will be perfectly fine this weekend, and that's where we're going. I still think Milenkovic could be a good shout this week. Like at home, Forest have been super good. Like these away games, yes, they've been conceding lots of goals away from home. They conceded twice at home to Southampton, yes. But then, other than the Liverpool game, which was 1-1, the clean sheets before that were all at home. Well, there was quite a few at home. A lot of 1-0s at home. I mean, they lost 3-0 to Arsenal the last time around, but that was at the Emirates, and that was with Saka fit. So I think that makes a big difference. I don't know. I still think Milenkovic shouldn't be starting for me this week, so that's what I'm thinking. What's your thoughts on Isaac versus Liverpool? At the moment, he's on my bench, so I'm not sure what my thoughts actually are on Isaac versus Liverpool. I'm still trying to work out whether this is the correct decision as well. Like normally when I get to this point, I'm pretty set on what I think my team should look like, but it's not a guarantee that I've got it right. So that's the bench as it is. I'm not even going to bother showing Becca. Everyone knows my goalkeeper. Becca's in goal. I don't know if that's correct though. Like, I'm literally taking a gamble that Liverpool are the best team in the league. They've just been Man City away 2-0. I suppose I'm backing on Liverpool's defensive data. Like if you look at like Trent's data, for example, 0.79 expected goals per 90. Like that tells you they don't concede many goals. And at home, I mean, they did concede to Wolves at home. They conceded to Ipswich at home. It doesn't look good when you look at the home record. They conceded twice to Man United at home. They haven't actually kept a clean sheet at home. Wow, this is some interesting data. Hold on, let me have a look. So they haven't kept a clean sheet at home since Man City at home in game week 13. Liverpool haven't kept a clean sheet at home since game week 13. All their clean sheets have been away from home. That's unbelievable. How much do I bench? Yeah, a decent amount to be fair. I've been slowly building back into it. I do dumbbells and flats. I can do sets of 40 if I wanted with the 40 kilo dumbbells, but I generally, because I'm a little bit older now, mid 30s, I generally stop at 32 and a halves with a full set of 12. And when I'm just doing it on the actual bench press, I have been getting up to. I could do more, but I don't. I don't want to get too big. I do 25s on each side plus the bar on my final set. I can't say I've been asked that before. I should do a gym channel of all the gym workouts I do. I just don't have enough time in the day to make any more videos than I already do. It's hard enough of a full-time job and then coming home and trying to whack stuff together. Like I know what I want to talk about, but like the graphic making is actually like it's actually quite time consuming because I do it all myself. So yeah. Good question, but yeah. Love that. Love that. All right, just gonna quickly check my messages, see if I haven't missed anything here. My phone is like lit up so much. I'm not even going to bother to attempt to check what the hell people have sent me. But if they've got something to send, they're going to join this stream and just let me know directly. I think because everyone knows by now I do not check my phone when I'm on this. Really, because when I'm on the laptop, I use my phone to actually read the chat. But yeah, I think I've got the benching right. I think I've got benching right at the moment. And benching Isaac is very controversial. After I just read out those Liverpool stats, it doesn't fill me with a great sense of, I don't know, anticipation that he's going to get the job done. But in reality, I can't bring myself to bench Chris Wood. Hi Christian, how are you, buddy? And that's the hardest bit. If I can't bench Chris Wood, Isaac has to be on the bench because I feel like the midfield five this week, all on penalties, all with half decent fixtures. Maybe I should bench Clivert and play Isaac, but then should I be benching Trent and maybe playing Milinkovic against an Arsenal team that can barely score a goal at the moment? Like these are all valid questions, and I don't even have the answers for my own teams. All right, someone's just sent me a message in our WhatsApp group saying Ahmad for Matoma. Yeah, it's a decent move. I actually think Matoma's like having if you hopped on Matoma, like I said a couple of weeks ago, Matoma was starting to come in. I'm good, Dylan. How are you, buddy? I've just read your WhatsApp message and I've responded. That one's for you. Yeah, I don't mind Matoma, but if you've got the money, I love Jared Bowen more. But I wouldn't recommend taking any hits to make it happen. So if you can't do it without taking a hit, Matoma's fine. Matoma's like a bit like Phil Foden. He's had an absolute beautiful 6 weeks. 43 points in 6 weeks for that man. He's hot. He is running exceptionally hot. And Bournemouth, but the thing is I think Bournemouth's defense is pretty elite. And I think they'll be keen to make up for the fact that they lost 1-0 on the weekend. So for me, I just think that should I bench Wood or Enzo? I don't know 100% whether Enzo is going to be fit, to be honest with you. Chris Wood is inevitable and is definitely going to be fit. And I don't know. I just feel like Chris Wood at the moment, every time I bench Wood, he gets points. So I can't bring myself to do it. The last time I benched him, he got 17 points. And it made so much sense to bench him that week. But he went off and scored a hat trick and got 17 points on the bench. I just can't do it anymore. I'm hopeless for Chris Wood. If you bench him, he'll get Wood on your bench. That is the man's name. It's the best way of describing it, really. He's so infuriating. When you watch him live in person, he's like a classic old style center forward that doesn't look like he's going to do anything, but he runs to the exact right spots in the box and his conversion rate is unbelievably good. Like his conversion rate this season is stupid. The man is too good to bench, which is why he's not on the bench. Like it was a shout out between Clivert, Wood, and Isaac. And at the end of the day, Isaac's fixture is the hardest. He's got Liverpool. Liverpool have the best defensive data in the league. So for that reason, that's why I've gone with that. Yeah, he is. Woody the Woodpecker, man. You can't bet against this man. He's so good. So my team for game week 29, obviously the goalkeeper needs to be moved. It's most likely going to be a Fabianski transfer to Sarr from Wolves. Then it's either going to be Trent or Hall out for Wan-Bissaka or what I say, Ait-Nouri. And then it's going to be Wissa for Cunha. They're going to be my three moves, provided I don't get any injuries between now and game week 29. That's going to be my moves. And then obviously that means I'll have Isaac on the bench, who won't be playing, Salah on the bench, who won't be playing, and it will either be Hall or Trent also on the bench, and Alisson Becker will obviously be on the bench as well. But I'll have 11 players exactly. But at this moment in time, I don't want to make any transfers this game week, now that Bowen's price has risen, because there could be injuries this week, right? There could be injuries in the FA Cup. I think it's just important to try and hold off, considering I only have one free transfer. Who would you bench? Gakpo, Isaac, Dango, or Wood? I'm probably just selling Gakpo to Cunha, and then I'd bench Dango. I don't know if you've made any transfers this week yet or not, but if you gave me those options, I'd bench Gakpo. But if you've got a transfer and you haven't already used it, I'd get rid of Gakpo because you're going to need to get rid of him anyway, and buy Cunha this week and play Cunha, and then bench Dango. I think that's what I'd do. Should I change Emery for anyone? I still think Oliver Glasner and the table bonus is amazing. You should have bought in Glasner last week, Dylan. I was so adamant that Glasner was going to win. On the deadline stream last week, I went through all the stats, and all the stats suggested it was going to be a Crystal Palace win. I was pretty confident it was going to be a Crystal Palace win. I mean, it's always risky. And Villa, I think, are a better team than Fulham in terms of an attacking perspective. But Fulham, I would say, are a better team defensively than Villa. Bench Sells or Henderson? Wow, that's a dilemma. Let me think about that one. So Sells has Arsenal at home, who don't have an attack. They're relying on some 18-year-old that cost 4.6 million that I didn't think was a good transfer. And Henderson's coming up against a Villa attack that has Watkins, Asensio, Rashford, Marlon, Rodgers. I think I'm definitely benching Henderson. I think I just talked myself into that decision. Okay, so you've already done Rodgers to Bowen, but I'll just bench. Yeah, okay, yep. Yeah, I just bench Gakpo. Easy decision. Yeah, and then you just move for that. I like that. You've already got rid of Rodgers. Bowen's a great pick this week. Absolutely love that. Great move. I was going to bring him in last week, but I took a -4 and the profit would... yep. That's annoying. Yeah, because you'd already taken a -4. And it would have been a -8, and then you would have just got 12 points. And Emery ended up getting 8. So, yeah, it would have only been 4-point difference. I've got Sells and Gold, also Fabianski. I'm thinking about just starting Fabianski. If he won't play, he'll be subbed anyways. What do you think? You could do, but Fabianski's 100% not playing, so it'll be Sells anyway. So I wouldn't be worried too much about that. Areola looks like he's keeping his spot in goal. West Ham obviously kept a clean sheet against Arsenal, so I struggled to see any world where Fabianski starts. But, I mean, if he does, I'll be laughing. It'll actually save me a transfer, and I play Fabianski in 29. Realistically, no, though, I know I'm going to have to move him. If he plays for whatever reason, I'm lucky to take it. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I agree. Yeah. I would agree. You'd definitely take Fabianski against Leicester. I do think that West Ham potentially could concede in this game. I've obviously talked to a few of the boys that are West Ham fans in the chat, and they're not as confident in this Leicester game as a lot of us are. However, they do think Bowen's a good option. Also, some people have been talking about Dorgu from Manchester United. Being a Man United fan, it's hard to recommend any Man United player that's not Bruno Fernandes. Like, I'm just going to be honest. I don't know if he's an option. Maybe he's an option in 29 when there's less players to pick from. But Man United are god awful. But we were so lucky to get a draw on the weekend. Start which one out of Timber, Guaviol, and Kirkes? Start which one? I'd start Kirkes. Oh, nice new people in the chat. Hello and welcome. Please feel free to sub if you're new. Greetings, mate. Bench headache, brother. Palmer, Salah, and Buemo, Dango, Neto, Wissa, Wood, Isaac. Havers now Isaac benched away at Liverpool. I've got the exact same understanding. Isaac is benched for my team as well. I've got just as much a problem as you. but between Wood, Isaac, and Dango. For me, it's between Wood, Isaac, and Clivert. So there's not much difference here. Still a coin toss, thanks. Yeah, it is. At the moment, I've got Isaac on the bench. Now, I've just looked up the Liverpool defensive data in the league, and they haven't kept a clean sheet at home since game week 12 against Man City, ironically. But their away form's been so good. I think they almost switch off in the last 8 to 10 minutes of games at Anfield when the game's over and they concede a stupid goal. So what I would say to that is I still think Isaac is the least likely to score out of those three. So I've still got Isaac on the bench for that reason. I just think the Kluivert's on penalties. Dango's probably going to be playing at number 9. And Wood is definitely a strong chance of getting someone against Arsenal at home. So, yeah, I think Isaac's the right call on the bench. Captain Palmer, you can. It's just so hard for, like, how can you back against Salah at the moment? This dude is a freak. When Cole Palmer here, and this is why he's my vice captain, not my captain. The last 5 weeks, he has got a grand total of 14 points against these teams. Aston Villa, Brighton, West Ham, Man City, Wolves. Like, how's he only got 14 points against those teams the last 5 weeks? That's a sign that Chelsea aren't in form and Cole Palmer's not in form. Yes, they play Southampton. I do grant you that. But when you're comparing that against Mo Salah, who is insanely good and has gone 14, 12, 8, 13, 16, 8 in his last 6 weeks, I just think you back in the man that's in form. That's what I'd say to that. Why do you bench Isaac? Because I just think, who do I bench if I don't bench Isaac? It's either Clivert or it's Wood. Wood feels a lot more safe than Isaac on the bench. On the field. Every time I bench Chris Wood, everyone in the league will tell you Wood gets a massive haul on the bench. Like, as soon as I put him on the bench, he goes, stuff you, mate, and he goes and scores goals. And then he gets 3 bonus, and I look like an idiot. Am I a bit crazy, or should I do a -4 to Dango for Neto for the Southampton game and Leicester game? I haven't really looked at Neto. He didn't really... The problem with Neto is there's Neto, there's Madueke, there's Jadon Sancho. There's so many wingers in that Chelsea team that I'm not confident that Pedro Neto will play every one of those games, which for me makes him not an option. I still think Nkunku is the cheap option I like at Chelsea because of the fact that Jackson's 100% out. So glad I sold Palmer, less stress. Well, yeah, you don't have to worry about captaining. You haven't got him. He does free up a lot of money. Like, he's massively underperforming. Like, all you have to do is look at his expected goal involvement as well. Like, it was pretty high against Aston Villa. Should have got something, 0.7. But then the 4 weeks before, 0.34, 0.71, 0.21, 0.41, there's definitely been a drop-off. Now, the last time he played Southampton as well, FYI, they beat Southampton 5-1, and Palmer only got 7 points. Like, he only got 7 points against Southampton the first time, and I don't think Chelsea are going to win this game 5-1. I would struggle to see them score more than 3 with the form they're in at the moment. I'm pretty close to 100%, George. Pretty close to 100%. I just think that... I actually think that Bruno Fernandes is a better shout than Cole Palmer this week. And that is an outrageous call because Man United are absolutely woeful. But I just don't know. I honestly don't know. I just feel like Chelsea just look in a massive funk. And they've played some pretty easy teams of late. And they're making it look stupidly hard. Lilo, how are you? I think I'm going for Salah. A lot of people are going for... Yeah, I agree. Lots of people... I think that the split is going to be pretty damn even in the end. I think about 50% of people are probably going to hop on the Palmer bandwagon because it is Southampton. All I'll say is that earlier in the season, everyone expected Brighton to spank Southampton at home. And it was like one of these midweek games. It was like Friday night football, I think. and Southampton drew 1-1 with Brighton. Then there was no massive hauls. So all I'm saying is that sometimes you can get lucky, sometimes you cannot. It's like the assistant manager. Sometimes, like I would say I got lucky. I feel like the luck was built in. I'd done the research and I felt like I was pretty good for what I was talking about. But getting 56 points from Oliver Glasner, Unai Emery, David Moyes, and I didn't have to pay any more than 0.8 million for a manager compared to fools that only got 36, 38 points. Some even only got 28 points from playing Slot and Mikel Arteta. There's definitely luck involved. But I just think because Salah is in such an exceptional run of form, and Newcastle don't defend well. They've just conceded 3 goals at home to Nottingham Forest, right? Like Newcastle have just conceded 3 goals at home to Nottingham Forest. Yes, Southampton concede lots of goals. I agree. But if we have a look at Newcastle's results of late, 4-3 against Nottingham Forest. They lost 4-0 against Man City. They lost 2-1 at home to Fulham. They even let Southampton score against them. They lost 4-1 against Bournemouth at home. Yeah, they beat Wolves at home. They won 2-1, 2-0, 3-0, but they're not in that amazing run of form. So from game week 16 through to game week 21, Newcastle are elite. They conceded 1 goal across those 6 game weeks. Since the Wolves game, Newcastle have conceded 5, 6, 7, 11. They've conceded 14 goals in 5 games. Like Newcastle have conceded 14 goals in 5 games. If they're conceding 14 goals in 5 games, Mo Salah should be in for a feast. That's the way I read it. Like that's the stats that tell me that Newcastle are probably in a little bit of middling run of form at the moment. Yes, they've got a great performance in them. They've also got a really bad one, as we saw against Man City, where they got spanked 4-0, weren't at the races. Is Bowen a better captaincy choice than Palmer? Yes, I think he is, Jack. I'm chasing rank and want to go against Salah. If you're going against Salah, I would go against Palmer as well and go all in on the Jared Bowen bandwagon this week. Also, who to start, Ait-Nouri or Collins? Collins has got Everton at home this week. Ait-Nouri's got Fulham at home this week. I feel like Fulham are a better chance of getting a result because they're a better football team still than Everton. Away from home, Fulham are the third best, statistically speaking, side in the Premier League this season. So for that reason, I think I start Collins instead of Ait-Nouri. Good question, but Ait-Nouri is definitely someone I want. I just think that this week is not the week, which is why I'm just holding Hall and Trent this week, giving myself another week to decide what I want to do. Hi, Freddie. How are you? Which 2 do I start out of Shade, Otara, and Raul? Part of me's like, I think you should bench Shade or Shaki or however you say his name from Brentford. The only reason why is because I think that his minutes are less nailed than everyone else's. Even though if Allinson's back, I don't think if Allinson's going to start for Bournemouth, which makes Otara definitely the starter there still, I think. And Raul's playing against Wolves. Yes, Wolves have improved, but Fulham, as I've just said, are elite away from home. So I think Raul should do better than the other 2. So in that case, that's why I think Shaki, even though he's got Everton at home and Brentford are at home, there's still no guarantee he starts. Like, I'll pull him up. I could be wrong, but I just feel like he's not a certain starter every week. Let's have a look. SHH. So he is. Okay, so he has been starting. He started the last 4 games 83 minutes, 90, 74, 86. He scored twice in 4 weeks as well. against Palace, against West Ham, I don't think I'd still be going there. I think Otara's still better. I still think Raul's better. So yeah, I'd bench Shaki. I think that's what I would do. I think that's the correct move. Let's put it that way. Exactly 1 hour to the deadline now. Lots of decisions still to be made. I just think I'm going to roll this week. I'm going to save that 1.2 in the bank, roll the transfer. There's not a move this week that makes my team significantly better than what it already is. And yes, I'm going to keep Isaac for the long haul. In case anyone's wondering, I'm keeping him for the long haul. He's got West Ham next week, which looks like a good fixture. It's away from home again, though, so that's not ideal. And they're going to be definitely thinking about the Carabao Cup final in game week 29. The other thing I would say, the reason why I don't like Isaac this week, Newcastle are in the FA Cup. And I would dare say they're more worried about the Cups at the moment than they are the league. And I just feel like Liverpool away from home, the form that they're in, I struggled to see Newcastle getting much out of this game. And for that reason, I want to take it on. I've already finished my assistant manager. I played it in game week 24. I went Moyes for 22 points, moved it to Emery for 14, and then I moved it to Glasner for a massive 20. I got 56 points for the 3 weeks, the Salamites, which is why I'm inside the top 7,000 teams. But if I was on the assistant manager this week, I'd leave it on Glasner. Already played it. Yeah, you can only play it for 3 weeks. Then it leaves your team. So I got my 0.8 million back from Glasner this week, which is why I've gone from 0.4 in the bank up to 1.2. But yeah, what I was doing before, a wildcard draft for game week 30 looks a little interesting. Now, Robinson's been amazing, but from 30 onwards, I think Fulham are crap. Like, this is the last week and probably next week that I want to play Robinson in my team all season, except if I own him in game week 34. But in game week 34, I'm highly likely to free hit, so I'll probably play him in 34 anyway. Beep Love, how am I doing? I'm doing all right, mate. I'm pretty damn tired. I've had 3 hours sleep. I actually went to bed at like 30 minutes past 8. My alarm went off at 11:45 p.m. So, and then I spent 15 minutes madly getting this stream ready. And here we are. Thankfully, the next deadline stream will be back on the normal Saturday time. We'll be back on the normal computer because I won't be worrying about waking people up. So, yeah. Who's the best captain this week? Hello, Jess Gear. What a last name, Gear. I shouldn't be that man. Just like the gear lane. I've got Salah as my captain. If I owned Bowen, I'd probably play Bowen as captain. I just think Salah's better than pretty much everyone in the game at the moment. Milenkovic in, Isaac out. I don't want to play a 4-man defense. Oh, you mean in your team? I'd still play a forward over a defender every single week. Even if I thought that there was more chance of a defender clean sheet, I'd still play the forward. All they need is a goal, and then they're on for bonus. Defenders, they get a goal scored against them, and it's all over for them for the week. Thanks to your efforts on getting us straight. All good, all good. I do it for the people. Actually, that's why I like when you guys join, you get involved in the chat. Definitely makes my life easier, especially when I'm half asleep. Responding to nothing is definitely a lot harder than responding to comments. So just keep them coming in. Newcastle will be motivated to perform well as they play Liverpool in the third final. See, this is a really good point. Andrew raises a really good point. Yes, Newcastle will be motivated to do well against Liverpool, but I remember when I was playing football and we played, it was under 16s and we were making the finals, right? And my coach had a way that we wanted to play in the final knowing that 9 times out of 10 we would lose that game. but he wanted the 1 out of 10 to be an absolute surprise in the final. That what he ended up doing, I went on there and he said, I want you to play as, I was the center forward. And he goes, I just want you to go out there and play as crap as you can. Like, just make him think that you're no good, etc., etc. So I went out there. I scored within the first 5 minutes. My coach took me off for the rest of the game. Didn't let me play the rest of the game. He didn't want them to know how I played and how we were going to play. And he was furious that I just scored. He goes, you should have just missed. I was like, I don't miss goals, mate. I just shoot them. So when we got to the final, I don't know what they were really thinking, but they definitely underestimated us. During the normal season, they beat us 10 goals to 1 and 6 goals to 1. In the final, we beat them 3 goals to 2 and I scored a hat-trick. So all I will say on that is sometimes it's better not to play your final before you get to the final, which is why I think that Newcastle won't do that well. Predictions on Semenyo and Dango versus Brighton. I don't think this is a hard game for me to read. Like, I'm playing Clivett and Kirkes against Brighton. Brighton only lost a couple of weeks ago 7-0. The thing is, they've played Chelsea. Now, I think this just shows how bad Chelsea have been. The Brighton made pretty easy work of them, and they've only played Southampton. Bournemouth are a lot better team than Southampton, and I'd say that Bournemouth are a lot better team than Chelsea at the moment. So I think they're going to go okay, is my gut feel. Clivett, Semenyo, Palmer, Salah, Shake, Cunha, Wood, Isaac, bench 1. Bench Shaki, Shade. However you say his name. Just because I can't say his name. just bench him. I just looked him up. I know he started the last 4 weeks in a row. I just think Everton's probably, I don't know. It's either him or Isaac. I'd play the rest. Do you mean to say Glasner over Pereira? Yes, 100%. Glasner's a way better manager than Pereira. Even though what I would say is Crystal Palace's form at home is nowhere near as good as their form away from home. If Crystal Palace were going to Aston Villa, I'd feel a lot more confident in Glasner than I do about him playing at home. But I still feel like Wolves playing Fulham, I think Fulham is a much harder task away from home than it is playing at Craven Cottage. And for that reason, I think Fulham will win against Wolves, which is why I had Pereira second. Gabriel Munoz Robinson, bench 1. I think I'd bench Gabriel. So I just don't rate expensive defenders. And at the moment, Arsenal aren't scoring any goals. So unless they keep an elite defense and they shut everyone out, I just can't see them shutting Chris Wood out. The dude is inevitable. He just loves getting wood. He's a freak. Absolute freak of nature, Chris Wood. Absolute freak. Yeah. I need to check out. Just bear with us 1 sec. I'm going to lose the chat for a second, so I will get back to everyone's comments. I just have to quickly see what my rank threats are this week. So just bear with me 1 sec. Live rank. There we go. Who are my differentials this week? Let's have a look. It's not going to load up until game week 27 starts, is it? No, it's not. I'm not even going to find out. I'd say Isaac's going to be a huge rank threat because so many people are going to play him. So it's either going to be a stroke of absolute genius or it's going to be one of the most miserable fails you've ever seen in your life. I don't know which way. I don't know which way is best. Try and take that back live. All right, it's live. All right, I'm back in the chat. I can see the chat again, just in case anyone's wondering. Make sure you keep liking the video as well, please. That'd be much appreciated. Keep your comments flying in. Yeah, I think I love the assistant manager chip, by the way. I hope they bring it back next season. The only things I'd like to see next season for the assistant manager chip If you get booked or you get sent off, your manager loses points. Slot should have lost 3 points as far as I'm concerned for being sent off. Would you start Wissa or Dango and why? I would start Wissa. Wissa's guaranteed to play 90 minutes. And Dango now has a Valenson sitting back on the bench, which means he is going to be a minutes risk moving forward, I think. Valenson will eat into his minutes. He may even end up changing position again. And if he changes position from the number 9, then Dango doesn't look like a very good option anymore. Yes, yeah, 100% the Salamites. Crystal Palace is definitely a much better team away from home. 100% they make way better away from home. Couldn't agree more. But I think they're pretty good form in general. I actually went and watched Crystal Palace versus Chelsea in the Premier League when I was in London. Well, what was it, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago? And I thought Crystal Palace looked pretty good that day. And Chelsea were already starting to show signs of what we're seeing now, and their form just really nosediving and tailing away. Oh, I'm so thirsty. This is no good. The games tonight, by the way, don't really excite me too much. And it is midweek football. Like a lot of these teams have not had much rest. If they're playing in the FA Cup on the weekend, they're probably thinking half about that as well, particularly the Premier League teams. Mohammed, how are you? Play double Fulham or Forest this week. Double Fulham or Forest this week. Do you mean defense or you mean players like a midfielder and a forward or a defender and a forward? Can you just elaborate on that? If it's double defense, I think I'd go with the Forest defense. Let's put it that way. If it's like Sells and like Milenkovic or Sells and Aina, I'd play them over like a Castagna and Robinson, if that makes sense. Otherwise, yep, yeah, 100% double Forest defense. I just can't see Arsenal scoring many goals. Don't get me wrong. Without Saka, without Havertz, without Martinelli, the title was pretty much done. Like, what motivation have they got? Like, I just don't think they're going to have that much motivation. I think they know the title race is over. Like, losing to West Ham at home 1-0, if that's not the crushing blow that ends their season, just might be. Why is the cartel going with Palmer and disregarding Salah? Well, I can tell you why the cartel is going with Palmer, because the cartel sucks. And they realised their mistake on the assistant manager chip and thought we need to make back that 18 points we missed out on by not chasing table bonus. And we're going to hope for a Hail Mary from Cole Palmer. That's my gut feel, IV. Also, I don't think I've ever seen you on the chat before, so welcome. And guys, if you are new, please feel free to sub to the channel as well. I definitely think a little bit differently to the cartel. I dare say the cartel is not benching Isaac this week either. However, at this moment in time, I am benching Isaac. I just know that I'm going to get the benchings wrong again this week. I mean, I left 24 points on the bench last week. Bruno, Hall, and Milenkovic combined for 24 points on the bench. Here I am, and I'm benching Hall and Milenkovic again, but this time Isaac takes Bruno's place. Look, first time joining your stream. No problem at all. Cheers, buddy. Much appreciated. Also, will you play double Fulham or Munoz plus one of them Fulham? Oh, all right. Let me think. Double Fulham or Munoz plus one of them? I think, realistically, I said this before, Munoz has a high chance of getting an attacking return, right? His attacking play is pretty damn elite at the moment. What I would say, clean sheet potential, I have Fulham's defence way above Crystal Palace's this week. Crystal Palace are playing against that Villa attack that have Watkins, Rogers, Rashford, Asensio, Marlon, that's a way better attacking lineup than what anything Wolves has got. Wolves has got Cunha and then a bunch of witches hats that run around with him. That's the best way of describing it. Cunha's amazing though. So if Fulham do concede, it will probably be Mateus Cunha that scores. I was thinking Salah at home is quite good. Salah's away record is actually so much better than his home record, but he's still really good at home. What's the chances of you changing to Palmer? I think I'm actually locked. My team is currently locked, I think. Bench Hall or Mikalenko? I think you bench Mikalenko. I think they'll both concede. Hall's got more chance of it getting an attacking return. I'll just pull up my team so people can actually see my team. This is what I'm going with, and I think highly likely what I'll finish this stream with in 45 minutes. Becker in goal, Kirkes, Alexander-Arnold, Robinson in defence, Cole Palmer vice-captain, Mo Salah captain, and Buemo, Kluivert, and Bruno Fernandes, and then Wissa and Wood up top, leaving the Newcastle boys on the bench with Milenkovic. I'm pretty confident that's how I'm going to finish. Jimbo the Daddy, how are you? Convincing me to go Glasgow, easy 24. Oh, mate, I called it. Did I not call the assistant manager right every single week? I was bang on it. Anyone that followed this channel and followed my advice racked up 56 points with that chip. It was an amazing chip. They need to keep that in the game full time. I loved it. Just make sure that moving forward, that managers get booked for points and they lose points for getting bookings. That's my only complaint about the chip. Otherwise, I think it's brilliant. I think the fact that there's massive point swings makes the chip so much cooler. And I love the fact that almost every other content creator out there, except Golden Goal's channel and mine were the only ones that preached David Moyes to Unai Emery to Oliver Glasner. And if you'd followed both of us, you got 56 points. That's all I'll say on it. Yeah, how good is it? It's literally like, it's over half the general average every single week. So it's literally the average of points every single week that we got from that chip. It's insane. 56 points is massive. I feel sorry for anyone that listened to all those other people and went for Arnie Slot and then moved to Mikel Arteta. 28 points is all you got. It was literally half of what you got if you played it chasing the table bonus. It's insane the difference in that chip. I loved it. Also, as soon as Mikel Arteta got championed as being a great pick, I knew Graham Potter was going to get a win. I was very confident Potter was going to get a win last weekend. Why is Isaac on the bench? Just because I think he's got the hardest fixture. I know it's controversial. I get that it's controversial leaving Isaac on the bench. I just think Newcastle are very hit and miss the last 5 weeks. If you look at their results let's pull up Isaac's the last 5 weeks. 3 of the last 5 weeks, he's blanked. He's blanked against Man City. He's blanked against Fulham. He's blanked against Bournemouth. He's returned against Southampton. Everyone returns against Southampton. And then obviously Nottingham Forest. I don't know what's going on with them at the moment. I just don't think Isaac's going to return. I feel like this is another 2-pointer coming up. Like another 2-pointer coming up. They don't have Jollington. Newcastle are a very hit and miss team. They're either on it and they dominate, or they're off it and they don't produce much. I feel like this game could be a 4-0 Man City game where he had 0.04 XG. That's my understanding of why I've got him on the bench. And trust me, I have put some strong effort into researching this. Yeah, I know. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, if you went Glasner from slot, you're still pretty happy. You got 48 points. You're only eight behind. I like it. It was pretty good. Jackson to Cunha, great move. Who would you bench out of Dango and Kunku and Isaac? I think in that case, I'd probably bench Dango. Valenson was back on the bench for Bournemouth on the weekend, which suggests he's not far away from taking minutes back or starting. So I think the run of Dango on people's teams is probably going to close pretty soon. That's my gut feel anyway. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's going to play out. It's definitely something I'm thinking will play out, though. Been pretty good. The last two deadlines, I've been adamant that I'm not going to change my team last minute. Ever since I changed Ahmad to Chris Wood for Ahmad and benched Wood's points, I'm just not into changing my mind. Like I do the research behind this when I put out my team selection video. I generally like to go in as is. I understand the clamour for everyone going to Cole Palmer, but I just don't think he's in very good form. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it's a hard one. Hello, Andrew Florence. If you're trying to chase rank, I'd captain Bowen. I don't think I've ever seen you on the stream before either, so welcome. Hello, same to you, Enigma. Start Cells or Kepper. Great content, man. No problems at all. Thank you for the nice comment. That definitely makes my day, especially when I'm half asleep. Start Cells or Kepper. Cells has got Arsenal at home. Kepper's got Brighton away. I feel like Brighton's attack is better than Arsenal's at the moment because Arsenal just don't have anyone. I'd probably start Cells based on that. Also, he's at home. No problems at all, man. I think if you've got Jared Bowen this week, a massive differential, and he's got Leicester. I mean, that fixture, like Leicester are crap. We just saw the Brentford boys tear them apart, right? At their home deck, 4-0. Now, I'm not saying West Ham are as good as Brentford. They're definitely not. But I'd expect them to be pretty good. I captained Palmer last week, and I've decided I'm going to captain Salah for the rest of the season. I still don't think Salah's a captaincy choice for the rest of the season. Next week he is 100%. He's got Southampton next week. It'll be amazing. Yeah, see, I just think that Isaac and Hall, it just makes sense this week. I don't know why. I could be 100% wrong and they end up getting like 20 points on the bench. I just don't see it myself. And for that reason, I'm putting them on the bench. I mean, I hated my team last week, man. I got 20. Just to show you what happened with my team last week. You would think I had a really good week. I went from 17,000 to the top 7K. I got 108 points. But when you look at my bench, you think, what the hell could have been? I had 24 points on the bench last week. And the deadline stream last week, when it was an extended deadline, I did consider benching Cole Palmer for Bruno Fernandes. I was strongly considering it. Should have done it. Would have got an extra 8 points. And I was also strongly considering starting Hall instead of Robinson because I did believe in Glasner so much. And that would have been another 8 points. And instead of 108, I would have been on 126. So these are the margins in FPL. You can't get them right. You can't get them wrong. Sometimes it doesn't even matter. You have an amazing week and you still leave 24 points on your bench. It's insane. I've already made you laugh more than NBL podcast creator in the space of 30 seconds. Cheers, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, I was like, when I get up and about, I was up and about this week. By the way, if anyone watched if you haven't watched my preview video for this game week, go back and watch it. It is probably the stupidest 25 minutes I ever recorded. I was completely and utterly drunk. We were drinking on Saturday night, and I had way too many to drink because Oliver Glasner got that 20 points, and I was, oh my God, the rank is definitely going back inside top 10K. And then on Sunday, we went and played. We had a bit of a kick around down the park. It was like the start of our preseason. And then afterwards, we just thought, let's just continue drinking. So by the time Trent and Allison doubled up on my Liverpool defense on Sunday night against Man City, and I was sitting inside the top 7,000, I recorded that preview video, and I was definitely a little bit lit. I had Munoz and Milinkovic on the bench, and both scored, and Munoz also got a clean sheet. Yeah, I mean, you also felt the pain, Jimmy. Oh, yeah, it was a rough week for benchings last week. Like, I think a lot of people left points on the bench. And the problem was, Ahmad sat there. There wasn't a Namad to like bring points off the bench either, which was highly frustrating. Start Semenyo or Bowen. Bowen 100%. Jared Bowen is amazing this week. I would drop someone else from the lineup, but all have two good fixtures. Yeah, 100% you're starting Bowen all day long. Bowen's on penalties. He's the talismanic person for West Ham. Plus, my missus goes for West Ham. Her family's all West Ham fans. If I didn't say Jared Bowen, she would probably wake up in her sleep right now and come and murder me. So who do I play if you're benching Isaac, Rogers or Mikalenko? I think you play Rogers over Mikalenko all day long. You never play a defender over any forward player unless your forward player is injured. That's my number one rule. I've not played a four-man defense all season, and the only time I'm going to play a four-man defense this season, will be in game week 29 when, obviously there's I'm going to have to. I'm going to hold Isaac through 29, which means I'll have to play four at the back. I won't be able to play three forwards. And I'll be benching Salah as well. So I'll definitely have to play four at the back that week. Yeah, man, I hope I have another good week too. I hope everyone else has a really good week. If you're up and about and you're living in the UK, I feel very envious of you all right now, or anywhere in Europe, because you guys are only sitting there looking at 5:26. It's currently 1:26 in the morning. I've got to get to the gym at 5:15 in the morning. I've had about 3.5 hours sleep, maybe 3 hours sleep. Probably going to get 2 more before the football comes on after this stream ends. Safe to say I'm running on pretty much empty. I'm glad that actually this weekend, I can't complain too much. We have a bank holiday weekend this week in WA where I live. And so I will not be working. There's no football. There's only FA Cup on. So there won't be any videos probably until Monday next week. But I hope everyone has a good weekend. Hopefully you enjoy the football. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up on some sleep. Change out Rogers to Clive or Bowen. Yeah, I actually think selling Rogers this week is a great move. 100%. My favourite sell would be to Jarrett Bowen, but I would have done it yesterday before he rose in price. I'd still do it anyway. Start tour Mono. I'll get to what I do for work in a second. Start tour Munoz, Hall, Milenkovic, Kirkes. I think you start Munoz and Kirkes. You bench Hall and Milenkovic like I am and hope that they don't kill you again on the bench. I have Henderson goal already. If that influences your decision, I'm definitely starting Munoz and Kirkes. I think. I feel like Milenkovic is definitely the other one that's worthy of a shout. I don't know if Arsenal will actually score any goals this week. So he is definitely the other shout. Yeah, I know. The midweek ones kill me, man. I'm a deputy principal at a school. So if you're in the UK, that means I'm basically a deputy head teacher at a school. And I stayed up and watched a football on Sunday night. So I only had about 4 hours sleep on Sunday night. So I went to bed at 2:30 after the Man City Liverpool game. So I knew what I was talking about in the video on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then I woke up that day. I skipped the gym on Monday and I woke up at like 7:15. So it was about 4 hours of actual sleep. And then last night I went to bed fairly early. I feel like I went to bed about 10 o'clock last night. So I made up a little bit of sleep last night. And then tonight, I'm back to like 3 hours at the moment. I will try and get another couple after the stream. But yeah, if that's dedication, then that's dedication. Also, I'm going to be putting out some videos in the next couple of weeks. In Australia, we play AFL. And since no one's asking any questions about their teams at the moment, we're just going to talk about this briefly. AFL's like it's like a different game to football over here. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. They play it with an oval ball. It's not rugby, but they play a fantasy team for that. And the winner of that, and it's much easier to win because there's only about every year there's only about 150,000 to 200,000 people that play. but I'm going to make a video on how to play the game. So keep your eye out for that. I will link it in my descriptions moving forward. I'm going to probably advertise it in some of my videos as well. But you get points, and the price setup is if you get over a certain amount of points and you make it break even, your player automatically goes up in price. Or if they don't make that break even, they automatically go down. So the understanding of like how players rise and fall is very easy to follow, and you get 2 free transfers every week, which is kind of cool as well. I check the group chat. Oh, Dylan, you're killing me. What am I looking at? Who's everyone captaining? Dylan, just write in the group chat for us. Tell them to join the stream and then ask the questions in here. Because every time I leave the stream, my chat in here gets delayed. And then I look like I'm reading something from 5 minutes ago. But I'm still captaining Salah. For me, unless I had Bowen, I'd captain Bowen if I had Bowen. Otherwise, I'm staying with Salah. Mate, I don't think I get more than 7 hours sleep on any night of the week. Except maybe Friday night. And I wake up a little late on Saturday. I live off about 5 to 6 hours sleep every night. Yeah, I'm a deputy head. Yeah. School's changed. It's really funny. I taught in the UK, right? If anyone that's really interested on something really cool, if you've ever seen Harvey Price or you know who Harvey Price is, I'll tell you a really funny story. So, Harvey Price, I taught Harvey Price for a year. I was his teacher for a year in the UK, and Alan actually was the one that told me. He was sitting there because his company put me at the school that I was teaching at, and he goes, one day he goes to me, "Who's in your class?" Because I said, "Oh, I got this really, I said I got this, like, I've got an interesting class, right?" And and he goes, I was telling him, I was like, "I got this guy Harvey in my class. He's a bit of a character," and he goes, "You haven't got Harvey Price, have you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think that's his last name, Harvey Price." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, Harvey Price. He's definitely in my class, man. He's like he's a pretty big boy." Um, and and then Alan goes, "Do you know who he is?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's just Harvey Price, mate. He's in my class." He goes, "Do you know who his mum is?" I was like, "No." "Who's his mum?" And he goes, "Katie Price." I was like, who excuse my language. I was like, who the F is that?" I was like, I got no idea who Katie Price is at all. And then he goes, I wish he was here to give the story himself. Maybe I'll get him to tell it the next time we're on stream. And then he goes, "You don't know who Katie Price is?" "Yeah, Katie Price's son, Peter. Yeah, Katie Price's son, Harvey Price." And then he said to me, "Do you know Dwight York?" I was like, "Yeah, I know Dwight York, baby. I know Dwight York." And he goes, "That's Dwight York's son." I was like, "Piss off. Are you shitting me?" I was like, "I'm teaching a Man United kid." I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Should I ring up Dad and see if I can get an autograph on a shirt?" That was my comment to him. But yeah, I taught Harvey for a year. Absolute great kid. Mum is mum. Mum in those documentaries makes herself out to be a great mum. She's just there using Harvey Price for her own celebrity goals. It's got nothing to do with FPL, but I loved him. He was a great kid. The funniest story I'll tell you is that one day he wasn't happy about the fact he had to do some work, and he literally tossed his iPad straight out the window, and it narrowly missed someone walking past below on the street. It was like, because he was in like the second story, he threw this iPad out, and it literally almost clocked someone in the head. And ironically, the iPad fell in the bush and it was perfectly fine, even though it came flying out of a 2-story window. All right, let's get back to the FPL. That's just a funny story. I hope you all enjoyed that one. Yeah, that's just part of my teaching brilliance. So I got to go. Hope you have another big week and enjoy the rest of the stream. Thanks, Jimbo. Do I sell Rogers for Bowen for -4? Yes. Probably I would take the -4 for Jared Bowen 100%. I love Jared Bowen. Who's your captain this week, Big D? It's Mo Salah. Mo Salah's my captain at the moment, Vic. How are you as well, by the way? Who are you going with? Allison or Fabianski? It's Allison all day long. Fabianski's not going to get a game. Fabianski's just been rotated out of the lineup ever since Potter joined. It's now Areola in goal, which is frustrating. I know. I was tempted to ring up Man United and say, can we take the school up? Can I take my class up for an excursion to Old Trafford? I've got one of your ex-employees' sons in my class. I was so tempted to do it. And I reckon they would have had us up and they would have given us a game. It would have been brilliant. Like, because I worked at a vision impaired school. Like, Harvey's obviously got a bit of vision impairment. Great kid, though. Absolutely hilarious. He can tell you every single train line in London and what it sounds like. Insane. Absolutely insane. Great kid, but great kid. Go for Allison. Yeah, exactly. Fabianski's definitely been benched. He's not an option. He's actually going to be leaving my team before game week 29. Peter Bryles, hello. Robinson, Hall, or Milinkovic? I'm playing Robinson. And I'm benching Hall and Milinkovic again. I still can't believe they got 14 points combined. How is it that Hall and Milinkovic got 14 points on my bench and they conceded 7 goals between them? That just doesn't sound correct. It's insane. I can't believe Milinkovic scored and Hall got 2 assists, and yet they conceded 4 goals and then 3 goals. And yet somehow they got more points than Robinson, who only conceded twice. It's just insane. I still think that Robinson's the best shout this week. And also, Robinson's got the easiest fixture. Like, Robinson's got Wolves. Let's not kid ourselves. Wolves is still definitely the worst team out of the 3 that they're playing. Hall's obviously playing against Liverpool, the hardest defence to play against. And Milinkovic is playing against Arsenal, whose defence is on a par with Nottingham Forest's. I'm not sure, Enigma. Now, it depends on the FA Cup. If I see some weird results in the FA Cup on the weekend and it affects... So after this weekend, we will know a lot more the likelihood of who's going to blank in game week 34 and who's going to be playing in game week 33 in the double. And that will influence my decision about when I'll play it. But it will only be guaranteed that we know who's going to be blanking and doubling in 33 and 34 between, I think, 30 and 31. I don't think we're actually going to know till then, which makes me want to almost wildcard in 31. And last season, I played it a week later than everyone else, thinking that I could be smart and clever and pick up on players that maybe didn't perform in the wildcard draft the week before, and I stuffed it. And that was the whole reason I finished outside the top 100,000 last year. So this year, I'm more likely to play it slightly earlier than later. But there's some world where I don't play it at all. And because my team at the moment's pretty happy. I'm even pretty happy with it post 29, except I don't have any Palace assets. Like, I really want some Palace assets and probably some City assets if City are going to double. Again, it just comes down to the FA Cup. City got another easy fixture, by the way, in the FA Cup. The continued nonsense that goes on there at headquarters, how Man City keep getting these stupidly easy draws in the FA Cup to get through to Man United in the final every season is ridiculous. Something needs to be happened there. But yeah, that's my plan at the moment. Yeah, I'm good. How are you, buddy? I'm just a bit tired. If you're thinking my voice is feeling a bit weird and I look like I'm half asleep, it is actually because it's almost 1:40 a.m. in the morning, and I've only had about 3 hours sleep. So midweek deadlines are no good when you work full time and then you try and do this on the side. That's all I'll say. I need to employ someone to like do the deadline stream for me. I need to get Alan on here next time and he can do the deadline stream during the midweek when it's actually a decent time of the day for him. Bench Raul Jimenez or Isaac for Bowen? Oh. I still think I bench Isaac. I think Raul Jimenez against Wolves away is not too bad. You look like that anyways. You know what? You're probably right, because I make all my videos at the end of the day when I'm back from work. So I work full time and I get up in the morning at 5:15 to go to the gym. So by the time I actually record my videos in the afternoon, it's normally about 5 p.m. And 5 p.m., I'm already knackered for the day. Like I'm completely knackered. So sometimes I look back at my videos, I'm like, I literally look like I'm about to fall half asleep. And so sometimes when there's a few errors on the graphics, or I've got like a few spelling errors or whatever, it's because of the fact I'm just so tired. I'm literally just trying to get out a video for you. Not because of the fact that it's me just being dumb. It's actually because of the fact I probably just got zero energy left. Who should I bench? Salah, Palmer, Bowen, Dango, Clivert, Isaac, have Trent, Wissa, and Mateta. You're on my position, but you own Dango and Clivert, so I'd be inclined to bench Dango out of that lot. I think either that or you do what I'm doing, you bench Isaac. I think it's between Isaac and Dango for me. I'd probably bench Dango though. Start Dango or Isaac, already have Clivert. Exactly same question for Vigo C. I would be benching Dango again if you've already got Clivert. I'm not sure if I rate the double up on the Bournemouth midfield, especially now that Valenson's back, unless it's a Semenyo Clivert midfield. I feel like Dango's the easy one to bench. Nah, all good, man. Yeah, I know. Some people probably like sit there and go, I'm just doing this for like, I actually make no money out of this at all. I literally do this because I enjoy FPL and I hope I love talking about it. Like I actually quite find it quite fun. So if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it because it's absolutely killing my sleep. But here I am wasting my sleep. I'll be paying for it tomorrow at work. So feel for me there. Thoughts on Marmoush over Haaland after game week 29. It's a bit too early to think about, but curious on your thoughts. Andrew, you raise a really good point. Now, what I would say, Man City's fixtures are good, but when you consider how much Haaland is, he's still 14.7 mil. Like he's 14.7 mil. You can't tell me, and I'm going to just quickly show you a few fixtures here. Try and tell me that Chris Wood's fixtures post 29 aren't better than Haaland's. And what does Chris Wood cost? He costs 7.2 million at the moment. Like his fixtures in his form is better than Haaland's. And he costs half his price. Just keep that in mind. Let's have a look at Isaac's fixtures between game week 29 and the end of the season. Again, it's Chelsea and Arsenal between 29 and the end of the season that's difficult. Like Isaac's fixtures are amazing. If you then go to hold on, let's go to the transfers really quickly. Go to the forwards. If we have a look at Cunha, try and tell me that Cunha's fixtures aren't better than Haaland's between 29 and the end of the season. Like, you see where I'm going here? I don't think anyone actually needs Haaland. And if you look at Haaland's fixtures and what he's been scoring, he's only got 2 big hauls since the first 4 weeks of the season. So, yes, he went ham the first 4 weeks of the season, 17, 17, 13. Man City is still off it. He's only got 13 against West Ham, 12 against Chelsea. Is he an option? No, I don't think he is. I don't think I'm going to go back to Haaland this season. If I went for a Man City player, it's back to Phil Foden, but that's if Marmoush stops killing the XG of Phil Foden. So for me, at the moment, I'm not really keen on many City players at all, except probably Guardiola in defence. Got to go back to work. See you, mate. Say hi to Sammy for me. I will do, Peter. She will definitely say hi back, I'm sure for sure. I just got back from work too, mate, and I have no energy to even think. Bear in mind, I have only 2 brain cells. Let me know who I'm captaining this week, please. I think you're captaining Salah. I think Salah's the smart option, right? I still think he's a brilliant option moving forward. And yeah, Haaland for me is just not worth the money. But will they be on those 3 forwards? I feel like lots of people are going to jump on Haaland. Yeah, see, I do like Marmoush. Like Marmoush potentially could be there instead of Cunha. Like I don't know if Cunha and Wood have been massively outperforming their XG all season, like stupidly all season. But it's got to the point where I think they're just going to keep doing it. So based on that, I think that I just keep on. I think that's just what I'm going to do. And Guardiola looks amazing, and I think City's run will be a lot better. And so I actually think that that's where I'm probably going to go. Probably going to look in the City midfield. Hopefully Phil Foden gets back to that form because he'll definitely be in the team then. And then it'll be, if I wanted to, I've only tripled up on one team all season long, and that's been Liverpool. And that's for those double game weeks. Other than that, I don't think I've tripled up on anyone else all season long. Oh, except Brighton. I tripled up on Brighton and it went horrible. So that was the last time I tripled up on anyone. I don't even really like doubling up on any one team, but at the moment I've got a few double ups in my team. I've got obviously the Liverpool triple up, the Newcastle double, the Brentford double up, and the Bournemouth double up, which I'm not too bad about. And I've obviously got the double up with Nottingham Forest as well, but they're all good teams, all in good form, and they cover the teams really well. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's happened. I don't know why Phil Foden's changed with Marmoush in the team. But it'll be interesting to see if Haaland does get fit. Maybe that means that Marmoush's positioning changes, and then all of a sudden Phil Foden becomes an option again. Should I sell Hall for 8 Nori if it helps you field a team in game week 29? I like it. I also think that 8 Nori is probably a better option than Hall this week if it helps you cover that in your team. Hello, Vince. What do you think I should? Who do you? What do you think should I buy? Maresca or just stick with Glasner? Maresca has no table bonus at all. Glasner still has table bonus. I've been preaching all season long, go with the table bonus option. I played the table bonus every single week, 56 points after 3 weeks. The assistant manager chip was designed to have fun. Having fun is chasing the table bonus. So for me, I'd be leaving it on Glasner. I agree. Hopefully Foden does, just not a super optimistic or a bounce back for him. Marmoush is Marmoush is brilliant. Marmoush, I think, will be the next Mo Salah, provided that Pep Guardiola doesn't coach it out of him. Hello, Oliver. Dango or Wood and sell Gapco to Cunha for free. Wood over Dango, and yes, I would definitely sell Gapco for Cunha, especially for free. I like those moves. Also, if you're new and you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. Help me grow the channel. And thank you for getting involved in the comments. It's definitely helping considering I am so tired. The amount of comments coming. We've got 12 minutes left to the deadline now. For next season, I am going to try and actively work to get a deadline timer on these streams. It's just because I do everything myself and I do work like literally every day. So, yeah, I don't only have a certain amount of time to actually spend on actually doing something that I'm not getting paid for. So next season, though, it is my aim to get a deadline day ticker on the stream, which will hopefully make it a bit more interactive. Which 2 to bench? Castagna, Nico Williams, Kirkes, Mikalenko. I think you're benching Mikalenko 100%. And Castagna's Fulham's defense is a lead away from home. Nico Williams, I think, has got the least chance of getting an attacking return as well. So I'd bench Nico Williams and Mikalenko based on that. And no problem, Oliver. Thank you for joining the chat. Clivert, Dango, or Wood on the bench. For me, it is Dango on the bench. Nikolai, hello and welcome today. Sadnalal, sorry. On Emery AM, who to go with my friend? Oh, mate, you missed out last week. You should have joined the stream last week. I said change Emery to Glasner last week, and you would have been so much happier in life. This is a tough one because my recommendation would be to move Emery to Glasner. Yeah, it's king, right? It's definitely king. So part of me is like, oh, you just play it on Glasner. However, Crystal Palace are nowhere near as good at home as they are away. So I feel like all good, Vigi. So like it does make it a little bit more difficult. Oh, mate, you got Foden when I did. I hope you sold him when I did as well. Um, Foden was brilliant. Like that run of games for Phil Foden. What a man. When it gets to the end of the season recap, Phil Foden will definitely feature in that video. Even though I only owned him for 5 or 6 weeks, my God, it was one of the best 5, 6 weeks periods of my season. What a man. I still have a lot of love for him. And I hope that Marmouche and him can find a way to play together. Because I tell you what, I've got the money in my squad to bring back Phil Foden. And I would love nothing more than to have a second coming for that man. Yeah, table bonus is king. I can't get over it. Pochettino actually is a pretty good shout against Man City at home as well, especially now that Tottenham look like they're getting a few bodies back into the team. They're not a bad shout. Start Flecken or Jose Sarr. You start Flecken. He's got the home fixture. I know Jose Sarr's also got the home fixture, but Fulham are a better team than Everton. Even though Everton have been much improved, I still think, yeah. Sold him versus Chelsea. Oh, that's unlucky. Yeah, I'm hoping to do something similar. Foden Marmouche from Game Week 29 looks really good. Top 9K as well, man. You're doing well. Good stuff. Keep it up. If you haven't joined the league, make sure you join the league as well. By the way, if anyone wants to actually talk more FPL, we do have a WhatsApp chat. It's been going off about as much as this chat during this stream. Unfortunately, I can't be in two places at once. So there's lots of other people talking about FPL in the chat, but it's not me because I'm in this chat. Cheers, man. I love when people call me rude. It's brilliant. I'll tell you a funny story. Whenever I go to Manchester, I go to the Bishop's Place, and I can guarantee that on any night out, I get asked by at least 5 people in the Bishop's Blaze for a photo with Ruud van Nistelrooy. 100%. Every single time I go there. And obviously this season, I loved my favourite moment of this season being a Man United fan was when Ruud van Nistelrooy went undefeated as caretaker manager. Goatish behaviour. 7 minutes left till the deadline, by the way. Yes, sounds good, Oliver. Good luck this week as well, buddy. Hopefully everyone's getting their teams locked in. You've got about 7 minutes left till the deadline. It's 1:53. Play Dango or Semenyo. I'd play Semenyo. Semenyo's 90-minute man. He's less likely to get a sub. The dude is a freak. He's taken more shots than any other Bournemouth player this year as well, Semenyo. An interesting stat for you. I don't even know how I remember all this stuff. Like, I read so much stuff about FPL, and then I just try and bring it into my videos. Yeah, I feel like Glasner with a table bonus is just better than Maresca. Like, Chelsea have been crap. Some of these teams down the bottom actually show up and perform shocks as well. I actually don't have it as a big Chelsea win this weekend. This game week. I feel like I don't know. The unthinkable couldn't happen, right? Like Chelsea couldn't stuff up to Southampton at home, surely. Play Robinson or Aina. Have Cunha as one of my strikers. All right. Well, if Cunha's one of your strikers, you probably play Aina. Elton Billow. Hi, mate. I already got Wood and Cunha on the team. I'm thinking of benching Isaac over Dango, but not sure though. I got a feeling Isaac will blank. Thank you, mate. I'm the same. Isaac's on my bench. Sorry, I'll go to my team. I just realized I'm in the transfers section. People can actually see my team. I'm also benching Isaac. If this helps anyone come to a decision, I know it's mad. I left 24 points on my bench last week, even though I got 108 points and went inside the top 7K. But I am going to be benching Isaac as it stands, and I don't think I'm changing my mind. 5 minutes left. I think Isaac for me on the bench. It just makes the most sense. He's got the hardest fixture out of all these players. And Newcastle have been very hit and miss. Isaac's blanked in 3 of the last 5 weeks as well. And not a lot of people have been talking about that. Yes, he got a brace against Southampton, got a brace against Forest. But then he's blanked against City away, blanked against Fulham at home, blanked against Bournemouth at home. So for me, that's why I'm on Isaac on the bench. He does like playing Liverpool, though. I will admit that. But, yeah. Should I move Trent to Dorgu for a differential? Do you think Trent gets rotated for Southampton? Connor Bradley's out for the next 2 weeks, Andrew. That was in the press conferences earlier on today. So I would think that the likelihood of Trent starting is now much significantly higher now for that Southampton game because of the fact that Connor Bradley's not going to be fit. That's my gut feel anyway. You want table is king? I'm going, yep. Table bonus is king. Even if it doesn't come off, you don't feel too bad about it. Like, Maresca could easily concede a goal to Southampton, and he's only going to get a max of 10 points. If you play Glasner and he gets a win, you're getting 20. Like, the difference is night and day. Yeah. See, I'm not sure. I'm just not a fan of doubling up on a team in the midfield unless they've got an absolute banker fixture. So, for example, if Bournemouth are playing Southampton, I'd be like, yeah, 100%, do it. But Bournemouth are playing Brighton. Brighton's defense isn't the best. Don't get me wrong. In fact, maybe, you know what? What the hell? Just play the double Bournemouth mids. Hi, you too, man. You guys have a good one as well. I did it. Konza at right back? Yeah, I mean, potentially. I'm not sure about Konza at right back, though. I just don't rate Konza at all. Plus, they also have Kanadi, who's a bit of an injury doubt, and Joe Gomez still isn't fit either. So I feel like Trent's more likely to play than Kanade. I really don't know. I just think that against Southampton, they might just play 60 minutes, gets the clean sheet, goes off. That's the way I read it. If Connor Bradley was fit, I'd definitely say strong possibility Trent gets benched against Southampton, but Connor Bradley's not fit. And for that reason, I just think that you play your right back, you get the win, then you take him off with like 30 minutes to spare. Yeah, Fabianski just isn't getting in the team, Enigma. He's just on the... he lost his spot to Areola in goal. All right, 2 minutes left. You've got any last-minute decisions you need to make them now? 2 minutes left. I'm definitely locking. I'm holding. I'm sticking to faith. I believe in the Isaac blank. So I'm going with Isaac on the bench. Isaac, Hall, Malenkovic on the bench. What a strong bench, by the way. It's a shame you can't bench boost every week. I'd be winning FPL if I could bench boost every week because my bench has been unbelievably good all season long. All right, everyone's leaving to make sure they've got their teams locked in. This is good signs. We've got 1 minute left. It's 1:59, which means we're a minute away from lockout. It'll be interesting to see if they actually get the lockout right today. Obviously, there was a bonus 20 minutes in there last week. I don't think that'll happen. Live a little, Captain Bruno. Ironically, I actually did think about captaining Bruno. Like after the 10-pointer, and being a Man United fan, there's nothing better than captaining Bruno. And in game week 29, depending on how tomorrow night goes, I may well captain Bruno in 29. Yeah, all the best to everyone in the chat. Good luck in game week 27. Hopefully it's as good as game week 26 for most of you. If you haven't already, make sure you join the league. Make sure you like the video as well before you leave. And also, if you are new and you haven't already smashed that sub button, I would much appreciate that as well. I'm going to go into FPL challenge once the deadline passes. It's now hit 2 o'clock. Let's see if the deadline has passed on time today. Let's refresh the button. And, okay, it's not saying anything. I think the game must be updating. It must be locked out. So in that case, I'm just going to go to FPL challenge and check out what my team is there. Team chemistry. Players from the assistant managers club earn double points. But you can only pick how many? Yeah, you can only pick so many players. So I got 101 points last week. That was top 1% last week for game week 3 of the assistant manager. That was because I played Oliver Glasner, right? This week, I'm going to play Oliver Glasner again because I still think he is the best manager this week. I chose Bowen over Bruno. Am I cooked? No. I really like Bowen, man. Being a Man United fan, I love Bruno, but it's a close call. I don't think either of them are bad picks this week. I'm not going to pick Henderson in goal. So what I want to do, I want to go for where's Crystal Palace? Double points for players from their team. So let's go with Munoz, Eze, Mateta. What's that look like? Can you only pick 3? Okay, how many players can you pick? Can you pick their whole team? That'd be pretty cool. Maybe I'll go Henderson in goal as well. There's no limit on the amount of players you can pick from one team. All right, though, that's pretty mint. If Crystal Palace suck, it's all over. I'm going to do no good in challenge this week. Is there anyone else I want? I don't think so. That's all the Palace players I want. Yeah, I agree. Bowen's a great option. I like it. He's going to be in my FPL challenge team in a second once I change the formation. 3-4-2. Yep. And we'll go with Bowen. I quite like Wan-Bissaka this week as well, so he's going to come in. And then we'll go to who else has got an easy fixture this week? Chelsea. So it's got to be Cole Palmer and Mo Salah to finish off this midfield. Where's Salah? Mo Salah. And who else do I need? I need a forward and a defender. I'm going to stick faith with the fact that I think Trent does pretty well here against Newcastle. I'm just going to play him. Don't know why. Probably going to do crap, but nah, he will. He'll get a clean sheet. I backed him in. Isaac's blanking on my bench. He has to be. Good luck, everyone. Make sure Spurs assets maybe. Nah, I'm not a fan of Spurs. They're just not a good football club. They're like Man United. Rubbish. And that Man United are my own team. Forwards. Let's have a look at forwards. Who's good this week? I think I'm going to go Wissa again. I think he's still better than Cunha this week. So for that reason, I'm going to go Wissa. Manager, pretty happy with Mateta as captain. I think he'll go okay. Plus, your players that are on the same team as the assistant manager earn double points. So I think I'll leave it on Captain Mateta. They do turn up against City, I agree. I just have no faith. Is the honest answer to that. So yeah, that's my FPL challenge team. Oliver Glasner as manager, chasing that table bonus. 4 Palace players with Mateta captain. Wan-Bissaka and Bowen with that beautiful fixture against Leicester. Alexander-Arnold, Mo Salah from Liverpool, and then Wisser up top, and then Cole Palmer against Southampton. I think that looks pretty good. See how we go this week. And hopefully the game must be locked out because it's not showing up here. It should be updating. Don't know what's quite going on there, but at least it's not showing the team, which makes you think it's over. Thanks for joining, everyone. Again, if you are watching this back, appreciate the effort of me staying up to stupid o'clock here and only having 3 hours sleep. Good luck in game week 27. I'll see everyone sometime next week for my first videos for game week 28. Hopefully it's another green arrow for everyone. Make sure you join the league. If you want to talk all things FPL, join the WhatsApp group. The link is in this deadline day stream description or in any other of my FPL long form videos. Thanks for joining. That has been FPL D in it, and I'm off.